Okay, day 13. The next day dawns warm, humidity plastering my hair to my head and sending rivulets of sweat to trickle down my side before I even limp from my camp to the creek. I stick my whole head in the water, running my fingers through my hair as I do, the closest thing to clean that I can get. My fingers find something that I pop back up for air, creek water running down all sides of me, pulling in my bra. I keep my thumb and forefinger pinched tight as I sit down on the bank to give a good tug, and the tick comes off in my palm. It's fat like a grape, skin mottled and stretched as it's fed on me for I don't know how long. A while, guessing by the size of it. It's so full of my blood that its body has covered its legs, so that it's only a hungry head and a too full belly. It's warm against my hand like a cooked bean, and I pop it in my mouth, crunching down. My own blood fills my mouth, sleek and coppery. Ugh, this is disgusting. I slip down onto my stomach, ribs pressing hard against sharp stones. Davy Beat could pull fish out of a creek like reaching into a cooler for a beer. Nothing to it. He tried to teach me, but I'd never been able, only coming close once when I managed to knock a smallmouth into the bank, and it had flipped and flopped between us, making me screech and him laugh until the poor thing found the water again and left us behind with a splash. I couldn't do a damn, but I wasn't dying then either. And today, there's no chance of me being distracted by Davy's freckled arm close to mine, or how his hands glided smooth and slow under the water. I know the fate of those hands and how that arm looks now. The only place my mind wanders as I wait for an unwary fish to pass by is if I'm going to end up looking the same, and how soon. Nevertheless, I'm too anxious with the first two fish that pass under my hand, wiggling my fingers along with the current. I twitch the wrong way at the wrong moment and they split, sensing that something's off. It's not until I'm warm from the sun, sweat running down in between my shoulder blades and half asleep myself, that I feel one brush up against my palm. I move fast, clenching my fist tight and jerking my arm out of the water. I'm not smooth like Davy, pulling it up and out with confidence. It's more like I just toss a whole bunch of water along with a fish up onto the shore. But the result is the same. A white-bellied trout tossing on the rocks, gills opening and closing as it drowns in air. I've got a knife and a piece of tin, and I can sure as hell make a fire, but all those thoughts are human and logical, and they pass like a quick rainstorm. A larger part of my mind is desperate and half wild, fishing like a bear and eating like one too. The fish is small and goes down easy. Ugh, its tail flapping against the roof of my mouth for a brief second before it's gone. I sit on the bank, feel it make a cold journey, still twitching, down into my stomach. It rests there for a moment as if confused, then stages a last revolt, panic and flailing in my gut. Ugh. It's too much for my shriveled stomach and I vomit, bending forward onto hands and knees as the fish makes its way back up my throat, accompanied by a handful of fern fronds. It breaks out from between my teeth and lands in the stream, bile-coated and shocked but alive. I blink and it's gone, and I swear the whole thing never happened in the first place if it weren't for the scales coating my lips. Ugh. I lick them off, take a drink of cold water, and keep moving. At camp, they told us the story of Jonah and the whale, how God asked Jonah to do something, I forget what, and Jonah didn't like it, so he got on a boat and went to the opposite direction of where he was supposed to. There was a storm. The boat sank, and Jonah would have died except for a whale swallowed him, and he lived in that thing's belly for 3 days, praying for deliverance, and the whale burped him back out. Then Jonah went and did the thing he was supposed to do in the first place, feeling properly chastised. I don't know if that fellow I ate was saying a fish version of a prayer as it flipped and flopped in my belly, but the result was the same. It came back up, and maybe right now it's going to do something it's supposed to do with its life, delivered from certain death. I'm contemplating whether fish have a purpose other than making more fish when I get spots in my vision and have to sit down. I haven't moved far from where I slept, maybe only half a mile. I've got creek water and bile in my stomach, but that's about it. It sloshes as I go from sitting to lying, my head fuzzy and my eyes still far from clear. At camp, they told us that Jonah's story was about second chances, that God wanted something out of him, and Jonah went against that but had the opportunity to try again. I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to fix things I've done wrong, but I know what they are now, if nothing else. I need to tell Duke I'm sorry I broke his nose, because I am. He sure as hell deserved it, but that doesn't mean I don't feel bad about it. I used my hands to break his bones and shed his blood, and that is as wrong as what he did with his. I need to tell Dad I don't mind the trailer so much, that living there with him has been the best thing in my life. He's the only person that's been true to me through thick and thin, and I'll be the first to admit that I haven't exactly made it easy for him. He's stuck it out and always made being a dad the most important thing in his life, more important than finding a girlfriend or hanging out with his buddies. He's never left me behind, and I'm not sure I can say the same. I need to tell Lainey Uncafer, oh my god, I can't pronounce that she should have beaten me on that cross-country course if I hadn't busted her eye, and that she shouldn't give up running just because she's a mom now, because it's the things you don't do that you regret. She should know that. I need to tell Meredith that we don't have a damn thing in common, but I love her right down to her bones, and that she can put makeup on me anytime, and I'll try to hold my face right, and maybe I'll take her hiking without giving her shit every 5 minutes. I need to fix the things that have gone wrong between us, because when you're Ashley Hawkins, you only have so many friends, and you need to put the work into keeping them. I need to tell Kavita she's the strongest person I've ever known, stronger even than me, because she does it without hurting anyone. She puts up with all the comments about her skin and the boys asking what color her nipples are, and she just holds her head up like they aren't anything to her when I'd be busting skulls. I never did bust a skull or even open my mouth when other people threw shit at her. I just assumed she could take care of herself and didn't want the help, same as I would. But maybe she could have used a word from me, and I should have said it. I need to tell my mama I did need her after all, and maybe I could have tried harder to sit still while she brushed out my hair or let her braid it once in a while. There's a lot of things I need to do, but I'm so tired. All right, kiddos, that's the end of that. We just have a couple more chapters. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye.